Great. Good morning. Welcome. This is Wednesday, November 18th already. This is our virtual Merry Mindfulness meditative stretching relaxation class, and we are kind of looking forward to continuing this on our Wellness Wednesdays, as we like to call them, through the holiday season and after. So any New Year's resolutioners out there, stay tuned, because hopefully we can help get you and keep you on track after the holidays. But for right now, we just want to get into a nice, relaxing, stretching and moving routine to get your Wednesday morning started right. So go ahead and join me standing if you aren't already. And I'm going to find just a nice place to stand. My feet are about shoulder distance apart. I'm going to relax my arms at my sides, and let's just close our eyes here and find those 3 deep grounding breaths. Nice full deep inhale. And exhale, really push all that air out. Last inhale here. Exhale on your next inhale. Let's bring both arms up above your head. Interlock those fingers if that's comfortable for you. And let's push those palms out and away from us, really rounding out through the shoulders. Now let's switch, flipping those palms facing inward. And let's lower this a little bit now. Drawing my arms, my hands kind of down at a 45-degree angle, away from my shoulders. You might feel a nice stretch here in your neck. On your next exhale, let's go ahead and relax those arms, shake them out if you need to. And then let's go backwards. Grab one hand behind your back, or you can interlock those fingers behind your back, just how we have them in front. And let's pull, just kind of gently elongating, lengthening, pulling our shoulders and arms down and away from our neck. Remember to breathe. If you were in my last stretching series on Fridays, you know how often I like to remind everyone to breathe and not hold your breath, especially when stretching or exercising. Go ahead and relax those arms now, shake them out a little bit. So we had a great suggestion and request last week to do some specific neck stretches, which I am a fan of. I have a stiff and tight neck almost every day, so we're going to do that next. Let's go ahead and just gently grab one arm. It doesn't matter which hand you use to grab which arm with. Just gently kind of keep your arms crossed in front of you like this. We're going to turn our chin off to about a 45-degree angle. So not all the way to our shoulder, but just kind of off to the side at an angle. And then we're going to lower that chin down as far as you can. You should feel that gentle pull, that stretch here on the opposite side of your neck. And if you would like to deepen this stretch, you can gently pull down. So I have my chin is off to my left side. I'm looking over to my left. So opposite is right side of my neck is being a nice stretch right now. To deepen that, I'm going to just gently pull down on my right hand, on my right arm. If you're opposite, if you're looking off to your left or to your right, then you're going to pull down and stretch your left side. Why don't we go ahead and switch now? Nice and slowly, just control and down with the chin. Anytime we stretch our head and neck, we want to have nice, really slow, controlled movements. When we kind of whip our head around or neck around too fast, especially when we're stretching, and maybe kind of waking up those tendons and muscle connective tissue, we want to make sure that we don't irritate or aggravate them. We don't want to cause any injuries here. So I'm looking off to my right now. Again, chin at a 45, pointed down as far as you can. So I'm feeling this stretch along the left side of my neck, which for me is my problem area. You may notice that one side of your neck or your shoulder is stiffer than the other, and that's pretty common. So I'm just gently pulling down on my left arm to kind of deepen this stretch a little bit more. Again, remembering to breathe and listen to your body. Nice big inhale here. Come back to center. We want to kind of explore our body's range of motion and reach to that limit, but not beyond it. So we always say stretch to the point of engagement, but not to pain. So listen to your body. That's why we say it's very important. Let's do some more neck stretches. So really basic, but really, really effective, simple, is now bringing your chin down to your chest. I always say it metaphorically speaking. I can't actually touch my chin to my chest, and that's okay. So getting a nice deep stretch here in the back of our neck, shoulders. And if you would like, if you feel somewhere in your shoulder blades or somewhere else in your upper neck or back area to target the stretch a bit more, you can take your hand, one of your hands, doesn't matter which one, and just gently kind of guide your head in the direction that you need to target that stretch. So like I said, my left side, my left neck and shoulder blade area is always my culprits. That's been really acting up actually this week. Don't know why. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to it. So I'm just taking my hand and just kind of gently helping my head and my neck stretch where it feels best. And we always say stretch opposing muscle groups, so opposite sides. We want to stretch everything evenly. So even though my right side isn't really tight, it's not as tight as my left, I'm still just kind of going through stretching all of the same areas of my right shoulder blade and neck area as well. Let's come back to center. Remember, slowly using our breath here, nice big inhale, and on the exhale, let's bring our chin up to the ceiling, tilting our head back, again, as far as you can comfortably. Getting a nice full range of motion and stretch in here. And on your next inhale, nice big breath. Come back to center. I hope that was helpful. We can do some more arm and shoulder stretches here at the end to wrap up as well. So let's kind of continue working our way down. We got about 5 minutes left, so we'll do a real quick torso and leg stretch. So for the torso stretch, we're going to come back to our starting stance. Remember, feet about shoulder distance apart, feet nice and firmly grounded in the floor, slight bend in our knees. Let's bring now one arm instead of both, just one arm up and over, reaching and bending as far as you can. Just hold here. I have my bottom hand kind of rested on my hip or my thigh. If you are at work or by a desk, you can rest that hand on the desk too, just to help balance, really deepen and focus, stretching here on the oblique or intercostal muscles. Nice, full inhale, kind of windmill, one arm down and the other arm up and over again, switching sides. And with every breath, see if you can't reach a little bit further. Next big inhale. Bring the arm back down and over. Let's get our back, and then we'll go into our legs. So just a real simple, classic, but effective lower back stretch is our front fold. So I'm going to actually tweak my webcam just a tad here. All right. So for this one, I bring my feet a bit closer together. You can kind of see that my knees and my shins are probably about 6 inches apart, maybe a little bit less. And I remember, don't lock your knees. Keep a little bit of bend in your knees here. Gather your breath. Exhale, and we're just going to walk it slowly forward and down. You can kind of use your hands to help guide you as you walk your hands down the front of your legs. And remember, listen to your body. Stop where you feel the stretch. So for me, that's about right here, kind of my ankle or shin area. As we breathe here, just breathe through the stretch. You may notice those muscles and the connective tissue in your low back and in your hamstrings loosening up. You may notice that you're able to go a little bit further. And this is where the breathing is so important. Breathing through the stretch. Listening to what our body is telling us. And if your body is telling you, hey, stop, or pull up a little bit, then do that. If it's telling you that you need to go a little bit further to get a good stretch, then do that. Let's take a real big inhale here and walk it back up to standing slowly. I was able to actually touch the floor quite a bit in front of me there. I don't know if that was captured for the record on camera, but take my word for it. Was loosening up there as we were going, so I hope that happened for you as well, and if not, that's something to work towards. Let's get those quads and hamstrings, and then we'll wrap up with some nice relaxing shoulder and neck stretching and deep breathing, and then we'll call it a day. So to get those hamstrings, you kind of woke them up a little bit just now with that front fold, but I love to do this modified basic hamstring stretch. So find something near you. It could be a chair, hopefully without wheels, a couch if you're at home, and just put one heel up on that surface, toes facing up to the ceiling. I keep my hands on my hips because remember, we want to protect that really sensitive knee area. So if you ever do this stretch with your hamstring, or the other version of this is on the ground, so one foot out in front, kind of leaning back, but I like this modified version best. We always want to keep our hands off of our knee area. So I see some people when they do this stretch, do this and push on, on or around their knee here to try to balance or deepen the stretch. Don't do that. That's really putting a lot of tension on that knee area, which is prone to injury anyway. And this is plenty sufficient stretch for that hamstring. So the more you pull your toes back towards you, the more you should feel this stretch, the back of your calf, the back of your leg, and your hamstrings. Good, let's switch on the exhale. And same thing here, you might notice that one leg is maybe a bit tighter than the other. Again, that's pretty common. Just exploring that range of motion, going as far as you can. Three, two, exhale and down. Let's do the basic quad stretch. So grab one foot, pull it behind, or if you need to modify this, a really great way to do that is, again, find that chair or that couch, whatever the surface was that you were using for that hamstring stretch, and just rest one foot back on that surface. And you can feel the stretch here. If you need to deepen the stretch this modified way, You can kind of just gently lean back, nothing too crazy, just a nice gentle tilt back, really lengthens and elongates your quad muscle here, also your hip flexor, which needs a good stretch if you sit a lot. So keep that in mind, hip flexor here, this is a good stretch. Go ahead and switch. If you're doing the modified version, you can do that. If you're doing the traditional, like I said before, pulling one foot up and behind, balancing maybe, if you're brave, like I am, but no promises. Do the best I can. If you are trying to balance this way, I suggest, it's a yoga tip, finding your focal point. So something to look at, could be a water bottle, could be a coaster, could be anything really, a paper clip on your desk that isn't moving. So the tip is to not look at anything that is moving. So for this part, maybe don't look at me because I'm moving a little bit. Good. On the exhale, let's lower that foot. So shake out those legs a little bit if you need to, and then we'll come back to center standing. Our starting position, feet about shoulder distance apart, slight bend in those knees. Let's find that breath. And with our next exhale, lower one ear to your shoulder. It doesn't matter what side you start with. We'll switch in a minute. And again, this is a metaphorical ear to shoulder. Can't quite get there, but that's okay. So feel this nice deep stretch here. You can kind of rub that out if you need to. Maybe grabbing where it's tight, helping your muscle, connective tissue kind of work through that stretch. Nice big inhale, and exhale to switch other side, ear to shoulder. And just kind of follow that tendon, the muscle here, all the way down to where it connects in your shoulder, and just kind of rub it out, help it relax, and do that a few times a day. I hope that that was beneficial, relaxing, and mindful. We thank you for joining us. If you do have questions, suggestions, requests for next time, please let us know. You can call or email Courtney and myself. You can put a message, drop it in the chat here in this class. Feel better already. Awesome. Thanks, Donna. We try to keep these classes a little something new and fresh, a little bit different each week. So stay tuned next week. We hope you join us to see us again. Thanks, Lori. Have a great rest of your week.